Hi, I'm Remy.
Hi, I'm Giselle.
And we're interviewing Kerry Neill, who is a proud Gubby Gubby man.
G'day, my name is Kerry from Cubby Cubby Country up here on the Sunshine Coast. I'd like to acknowledge all traditional custodians out there. I'd like to acknowledge all that country, that beautiful places that we call home, those special places, those places of meaning. And of course, I'd love to acknowledge those elders, those past ones that have passed on that knowledge from generations and generations, and of course, to those new ones that are coming up. I also encourage you guys to encourage each other. This year is a safe place.
How do you deal with setbacks and how do you cope with pressure?
A lot of people will tell you, setbacks, you just got to get back on the horse and ride again, and you just got to keep going, and you got to keep going, and you got to keep going, But I think also you need to stop, and you actually need to reflect on what happened, and when time to take the next step. I like to feel like that, okay, well, that happened last time, what can I do to prevent that from happening next time? How do I cope with pressure? It doesn't look like it, but I love to go for a walk every now and again. Absolutely, I think deep breathing is something that's really important, because there's always pressure. There's always going to be pressure, especially in my business. Like there's people relying on me because I have staff. I've got my family that relies on me for wages, for payment, stuff like that. And so there's always lots and lots of pressure. There's always lots of pressure. But if you can go, for me, I love to go for a little walk, and I feel that when I'm going for the walk, my body's moving and I'm going up and down and my head's shaking around a little bit. And to be honest, I 100% believe that it brings me down a little bit, and it just reminds me that it's going to be okay. I was telling you before, it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay.
When you were younger, did you ever experience worry or anxiety, and how did you deal with this?
For me, I kind of feel like I robbed myself of lots of good things, because I let that fear and I let that insecurity and that anxiety and that thing stop me from doing lots of the things that now, as like a 39-year-old bloke, I look back, I think, man, I wish I would have done that. I wish, and I could have, and I should have, and I really wanted to, but inside my body, I listened to that fear instead of, talking about it and sharing it, and I genuinely think that, I kind of robbed myself a lot of some really good times, and so he definitely felt some anxiety when I was a young fella and things like that, and yeah, it's no good for you, that.
If you could go back in time to when you were 12 years old, what advice would you give yourself?
What I would go back and I would tell myself is, brother, just be yourself. You don't actually have to be anybody special for any of them. This is not about them. This is not about that person over here, or it doesn't matter about this person here who loves you or doesn't love you or whatever. What do you actually really want? That's what I would have gone and told myself. I would have said, hey, bud, Kerry, what do you really want? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? And then I'd say, just stick to it.
Have you had to overcome a challenge when you were younger, and how did you deal with it?
I think one way that I used to do it was I used to talk to my mum. And I was pretty close with my mum when we were kids, and I used to love listening and watching her paint. She's a fantastic artist, my mother. Her work's been all over the world, and she's a really great inspiration to me. And so talking to my mum, helped me to plan it out in my brain, in my head, talking about the situation for me really helped me, and I knew my mum, wouldn't tell anybody, and I knew that she'd be really safe, and she was really respectful when she was talking to me. So I love talking to my mum about different challenges and just how to get through them. So I think talking about challenges is with trustworthy people, I think, is super on the right way, on the right track,
What advice would you provide to a child or young person about being safer online?
I reckon just, never tell people where you live. never ever talk to people about grown-up stuff, you know, and if you feel not safe or anything like that, man, you need to tell somebody straight away. You know, there's something called secrets, man, and you should never have secrets with your parents, you know, like, or with somebody that you really love or somebody that you trust, you know, like, I think that, yeah, so if you want to be safe online, man, never tell somebody where you live, especially when you don't know them. They could be anybody, man. Like, you could be talking to somebody that's living on the moon for all we know.